Welcome back to r/Neighbors from Hell, where people share stories about their crazy neighbors. And if you are new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe to join our amazing community. And without any further ado, let's dive right into the stories. And the first one is titled Crazy Neighbor from Hell Saga, All His Horses Taken Away Forever. And guys, if you are new to the Crazy Neighbor from Hell Saga, please check out the previous videos. In the description I have noted what part of the saga they are. Anyway, I am happy to announce that tonight, with the help of law enforcement and a directive from the county prosecutor and the state vet, all horses were rescued from Crazy Neighbor from Hell. People, the situation was worse than I thought. There was no food and no water for these animals at all. Their stalls were knee-deep in manure. The first one, taken a few nights ago, was in such bad shape that they said she would have not lived another 24 hours without care. I cannot share the pictures here, but suffice to say it is sickening and very anger-making. But they saved that horse and now she is doing much better. Then, earlier tonight, with my help and my SO's help and 5 others, including 2 vets, 2 deputies and a trainer, we got the last horses loaded onto trailers. Not very easy to do, and they all left for better lives. I have gigabytes, but it is worth it. Crazy Neighbor made a bunch of lousy excuses to the deputies and lied through his teeth. He did not leave the house to even help us. And now he has to pay $5,000 to bond them out, which he doesn't have. And even if he does come up with the money, he has animal cruelty charges against him and would lose them anyway. And if the charges stick, he is never allowed to have animals again in this state. So, racking up the situation here, 3 tickets for driving while suspended, multiple charges of animals running loose/trespass, 5 charges of animal cruelty and neglect, property up for auction at a tax sale in September. It really pays to figure out how to help the animals out when you see something terrible going on. I know a lot of people don't like to get involved, but I had to. Is it risky? Yes. He might do something to us or our property or try to do something else. Worth it? Yes. The orc's owner invited us to come and see the horses later once they are all in good shape again. I am looking forward to doing that, bringing them all a nice big apple. And guys, we will have 6 updates in total today, so please don't forget to watch until the very end. However, this is definitely a positive start to the saga once again, because I feel really good that this awful neighbor does not have any horses anymore. And the next update in the saga is titled Crazy Neighbor from Hell to face felony animal cruelty charges. Okay folks, where we last left off, Crazy Neighbor from Hell lost all of his horses when they were confiscated by authorities because they were practically dead from starvation. It was sad but bittersweet to help these once beautiful animals to get a chance at getting good care and food. Of course, Crazy Neighbor from Hell stayed in his crap hole of a shack and did not interfere. Possibly shame or embarrassment. Who knows? Maybe he didn't care. Well, like the crafty little online detective I am, I've been watching the public notices for weeks now, waiting to see the charges filed in the courthouse. Lo and behold, this morning the heavens opened. The angels wept, the trumpets sounded, and justice finally happened in our backwards corrupt county. Yay! Crazy Neighbor is facing multiple counts of animal cruelty and 1 count of animal torture. This is a big deal. He faces at the minimum 6 months of jail time, and it could go up to 2 years in prison and a 10 grand fine. Now, I'm not stupid, but he is, and I know that he will probably plead out and get it reduced to either 5 or 4 months and a lesser fine because he is still facing the other charges of animal trespass. And 3 outstanding warrants on driving with a suspended license, but either way, we are rid of him for a while once he goes to jail. And the timing could not be better. Why, you might ask? I will happily tell you. Because his land goes up for auction in 14 days and after that he only has a year to pay back taxes or he loses the land forever. Well, when he gets out of jail, no more job, no more money coming in, scrambling to pay all his legal fees, hefty deposit to the power company to get it turned back on, do you think he will have the money to pay the back taxes? Nope, me neither. Which means he is gone forever. Gone. Like an evil witch, his legs will curl up and he will just melt into the earth. Okay, maybe not that kind of gone, but it will feel like it for us. Now, bad and very sad news, one of the horses is going to be put down. She is in too bad of a condition to be left alive and suffering. I tried, people, I really did, to get authorities to act for well over 2 years, but nothing would happen. I wish I could tell you the charity that finally listened to me and took action, but I don't want to dog/out them or me. Anyway, that's the latest, and be sure to stay tuned to this channel for the next chapter entitled Crazy Neighbor from Hell Goes to Jail, or Crazy Neighbor Goes to Trial and then Jail. If he is stupid enough to plead not guilty, and if his history is any clue on that, he might be exactly that stupid. And well guys, let's hope for the best that this douchebag finally goes to jail. Anyway, if you have watched until here and absolutely hate this crazy neighbor, please don't forget to like the video and maybe even post some star emojis in the comments if you want to go the extra mile and support my channel. Thank you so much in advance. And the next one is titled Crazy Neighbor from Hell appeared in court today. Here is the latest on Crazy Neighbor from Hell. He appeared in court today to answer for his torturing of 5 horses. 2 others died, but I digress, and the stupid judge amended his torture case down from a level 6 felony to a misdemeanor. I am not happy about this, but there is nothing I can do. Felony number 6 sits on the fence and any judge can amend them down. Why she did this, I have no idea, but she has been soft on crime ever since she took the bench. Every sentence in that system is like this: 365 days, 364 suspended, credit for 1 day served. I have no idea why this county is so effed up, but that is just the way it is here. Nobody seems to serve time for anything. The case does not go up for hearing for another month or so, and Crazy Neighbor will ask for a trial because he knows that they take forever, like the current trespassing case, and nothing will ever see the light of day in an actual trial because of continuances. Anyway, his land goes up for auction on Friday, at least that is one thing that cannot be changed or downgraded, and he doesn't have the money, at least I think he doesn't, to pay his taxes this time. He did not pay them today while at the courthouse, and tomorrow they are closed. Thursday is too late because you have to do it in this county at least 24 hours before the auction. They changed this last year and we hope he doesn't know this, as he usually sneaks in at the last minute and pays them right before the auction. Hoping that in a year from this week that he will be gone. He has that long to pay off the back taxes plus interest. He has done this before, but hopefully with all his legal fees he will never have the money. The horses that were confiscated have been taken to rescue farms. The worst case has to be put down. Her hooves are in just too bad of a shape and there is nothing they can do. It has already cost the rescue thousands to do what they've done for her, so basically that is 3 horses he is responsible for killing. Anyway, I wish the judges across the land would look at the cases deeply before amending cases down to lower levels. I'm not going to be able to keep my mouth shut on this if I am asked to take the stand as a witness. Just writing this out right now because I am really pissed about this situation. And guys, by now I am really wondering what kind of county in the United States this story could be happening in. As the OP mentions, the justice system there seems really backwards. And this douchebag neighbor seems to know exactly how to trick the system. If you have any ideas or clues on the situation, please let us know in the comments. And the next one is titled The Latest on Crazy Neighbor from Hell. So Tuesday of this week was a return visit to court. We have, meaning 5 people from the neighborhood, been going to see how things progress, and it is near a few other stops, so why not? Plus, we would like to see some justice. A month ago, Crazy Neighbor showed up with no lawyer, but promised he would be back with a lawyer in 30 days to face the animal cruelty felony charges, which have been combined with the animal trespass charges now. The prosecutor told the judge that his lawyer had backed out due to non-payment. Go figure. Well, he basically lied to court and said that he would work it out with his lawyer and they would be back to have the final pre-trial conference that has been done and redone again. Guess what? Yep, he showed up this week again, no lawyer, and the idiot judge just let him slide again. But this time gave him only 6 more days to get his act together and show up with a lawyer. Then the prosecutor speaks up and says that Crazy Neighbor's lawyer reached out to him and said that he was still waiting on payment, but if it occurred, and we know it won't, he would be back for the next appearance. And also that they again turned down the plea agreement and want a full-blown trial. Okay, a few things here. A full-blown trial would cost about 3 times more than just pleading guilty and paying the fine, but we are dealing with a crazy person, so trial it is. He doesn't have any money, he is up to 4 traffic stops with no insurance and a suspended license. In most jurisdictions that would land you in jail and your car would be impounded. Money? Nope. After all, he starved 5 horses nearly to death, not to mention killing 2 others from lack of feed/care. Crazy Neighbor has been very quiet lately, however, he hasn't even been near his horse barn, too many ghosts, and runs back into his house now when anyone comes near. So we will see what happens on the 4th of February, that is the day we are hoping that the judge gets fed up with his lies and basically throws him in jail for contempt of court, or at least hands him a juicy fine for lying. Anyone care to bet on if he shows up with his lawyer or not? And the next part of the saga is titled Crazy Neighbor from Hell Wrecks His 5th Car. Not sure if anyone is keeping score or not, but just in case, Crazy Neighbor from Hell wrecked yet another vehicle last night, folks. Backstory: between his having charges pressed by the prosecutor for animal torture, a level 6 felony last fall, and finally getting a lawyer for the trial, January of 2021, Crazy Neighbor has gone through 3 vehicles. This is in addition to setting his own truck on fire 4 years ago and wrecking his own car to the point of making it non-drivable. So, timeline: first it was a car that someone must have given him. This was last January. He bashed it up pretty bad and they hauled it off, so for a while he was using his old truck to drive around, but apparently it got so bad that he just left it sit in the weeds. Then during the spring things were looking pretty bad on the property tax front, and suddenly now his sister owns all the land and the house. He signed it over to her. A quick check of county records showed us that, and she still has yet to pay all the back taxes, but if he gets sued for killing someone while drunk driving, something he does often, or driving without insurance or a valid license, 4 counts of that so far in this and surrounding counties, all unpaid, 0 jail time, they cannot take away his craptacular rotting house and dead vehicle farm. So since that truck died, his sister decided to get him a car to use. It was a fairly nice new Nissan Altima. Well kids, last night he decided to drunk drive again, and right this minute it is sitting at the bottom of a ravine all smashed up. A tow truck came to try and deal with it. The banks are too steep to get the car up. I have no idea how they are going to get that thing out. As you may have noticed, yes, the trial is still on, but he kept pulling a fast one over the stupid drunken judge we have and has gotten the trial, animal torture for starving 9 horses, 2 to death, moved to January. Don't hold your breath, because it's been kicked down the road so many times, it should have a pretty nice polish on it by now. Hopefully it will really happen in January 2021, but we've been fooled before, haven't we? More news as it happens. And the next one is finally titled Newsflash Update: Crazy Neighbor from Hell is in jail. Okay kiddies, this is just too exciting. Seems our idiot neighbor, Crazy Neighbor from Hell, took it upon himself to try and contact the judge in his felony horse torture/mutilation case. And apparently he must have really done something crazy, because last Thursday the 6th they issued a warrant for his arrest and picked his ass up on the 7th. This was all unbeknownst to us. We just noticed that there was no movement down there and no vehicles had left and the lights were off. I had a thought today to check on the My Case website to see if he had any more charges. And Wow. Felony 6 harassment/stalking charges against a judge, as well as harassment by mail, which could get a federal crime tagged on it. That did not go well for Crazy Neighbor. $5,000 cash bond and also a psyche evaluation and a court test to see if he is a threat or flight risk. So until that happens, he is cooling his heels in the slammer. Imagine trying to mess around with a judge. So we figure if he does time, which will probably happen when they lump the horse case and the other violations into it, then he will lose his job and have his power turned off. This sentencing starts at 1 year and the horse situation is at least 6 months. Count on your fingers, that is all the way through next spring, since the trial is in January, even if they give him time served while he is waiting for bail. I will try to add more details as they happen, but so far it is looking like there's no way in hell he's going to get out of this one. That silly judge finally got a taste of what it is really like, so karma in both directions. And the next one is titled, Update on Crazy Neighbor, what can happen when you piss off a judge? Hello out there in Neighborland. Well folks, if you're keeping track you will notice it has been 7 weeks now that Crazy Neighbor from Hell has been in jail. The poor guy. I've been watching the case closely, checking on our friendly neighborhood online case tracker daily. There has been a tiny bit of movement, motions filed for protective order. This one is bothersome because there's no details, and motion to reduce his $5,000 cash bond. The letter has not been answered for 2 weeks. I think these judges are going to just let him twist in the wind for a while and keep him in the pokey. The state-appointed attorney turns out to be his old attorney from other cases, so at least he will be paid for his work this time. I guess since he is so familiar with Crazy Neighbor and his hijinks, he's probably the best one to do it. They have rolled all 3 cases into one, so we are waiting for our turn at the deposition table. But I have a feeling they are going to let him stew in jail so that when they offer another plea deal, he will take it this time. When you stalk and harass a judge, kids, be prepared to not have things go your way. Meanwhile, back on the ranch, the house, which has not had the grass or weeds dealt with in 2 years, is very quiet. All of his feral cats and dogs have vamoosed. The sister has stopped visiting to feed them, which she only did once a week. Seems horrible treatment of animals runs in the family. We have been enjoying lovely nights of zero gun firing, engine revving or other craziness. We also got to work right by his house and trimmed up a huge tree that has been hanging down in the shared driveway for years. Also, we spent about an hour trimming that back so the gravel trucks could deliver rock. And the neighbors have been able to go behind his house and clear out their creek from branches, which clog their driveway bridge in storms. We were all out there happily working and talking, enjoying not being hassled by a crazy dude. We did find out, through some good detective work, that his father died in July. We figured that is where the newish car came from, since it has out-of-state plates. That is the one that he wrecked in the ravine 8 weeks ago. It now sits there as a monument to his stupidity, all 4 tires flat, a wrecked front and undercarriage damage. His mom is still alive, probably cursing the event of his birth. I will update the story as soon as something interesting happens. And the next one is titled, Crazy Neighbor from Hell, Full Moon Fever. And by the way guys, I would just like to mention that this post is only a few days old, so the story is definitely still going on, and I think there will be more updates in the future, and of course we will read them, but I think we will wait a little bit so we can read several updates at once. Either way, well kids, things had been quiet for a while here in Sleepy Valley. Crazy Neighbor was in jail for 90 days and it was bliss. Peaceful, quiet, no crazy. Of course all of that changed when he got home in December. See older threads below for the full story. Since his sister now owns his land and house and is paying the bills, Crazy Neighbor somehow got another illegal car with questionable plates. Though the police have been informed that he is driving without license and insurance, he is is still getting away with it on a daily basis. Go figure. And by the way guys, my apologies if you can hear thunder or rain in the background, because it seems like it just started raining. But anyway, well, one of the first things he started doing since out on bail is to shoot his gun again on every Friday night after dark, repeatedly. According to the laws of our state, he is not supposed to even own a firearm while out on bail for a felony, but whatever. Not getting enough attention, he took a baseball bat to our neighbor's mailbox a few days ago. This is why we have a P.O. box. Of course, since he is a mile from our place and half a mile from the neighbors, nobody caught him in the act, but we know, crazy neighbor, we know. Then, a few days later, apparently our other neighbors heard him down there yelling and screaming bloody murder into the wind. Then gunshots and then silence. Did he end his own life? Could we be so lucky? So she calls the police. They arrive, and according to them, crazy neighbor says that we, my partner and I, snuck into his house while he was out getting firewood and stole his phone. So stupidly they decided, based on zero evidence of said incidents, to come up here and disturb us and snoop around. We hear a loud bang on the door and "Sheriff's Department!" and so responded. They asked about this BS story, and of course we laughed and said, "Nope, we've been eating dinner and watching TV. Sorry you had to come here to find out what you already knew." And so they walked back down the mile-long drive to their cars because yes, our gate is locked. When they got back down to his dump, crazy neighbor changed his story. Now he says that our other neighbors were the ones that stole the phone and that we stole some machine parts from his barn. So, dutifully and stupidly, the cops go up the other hill to talk to the other neighbors. Same results, they came back down to his place. Then, as we found out later, the cops warned crazy neighbor that if he calls with no evidence again, they will arrest him. But why in the actual F did they come up to talk to either of us with no evidence based on BS from a person with 3 cases pending for trial and is out on bail? Boredom? Curiosity about what our houses look like? Stupidity? I was pretty pissed that we got questioned, so I wrote the sheriff a pretty spiky email about the stupidity and zero response, of course. Stay tuned, crazy neighbor goes to trial on all 3 previous cases on March 29th. Maybe, just maybe. And yeah guys, I guess then we will get the next update, but I would like to know whether you want to hear this update as soon as possible or if we should wait a little while before we get a few more updates. And with that, we have reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's content, and if you did, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel to join our amazing community. Furthermore, don't forget to go to r/ripestories on Reddit to post your own stories if you want me to read them out in a video. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I see you again tomorrow.